I remember when I graduated from my emergency medicine residency in 2018, it was the greatest academic accomplishment I ever had. And I personally felt, though, like I had nothing left to give. I was so burned out. And it was hard because at that time, I just didn't understand why I was so unhappy. And so for me, my healing began with yoga, reading books, and then finally having the blessing to be the first physician wellness fellow. It was the first time in my life I ever learned about the business of medicine along with the system drivers of burnout. And once learning about the national, state, organizational, departmental, and individual factors that contribute to burnout, I realized that I'm not to blame, but no one along the way told me this or taught me this. And so things are different now. And still, a lot of this education are things that we experience and that are not formally taught. And unfortunately, learning how to heal from burnout happens only after we are burnt out and then start to understand why. And it doesn't have to be that way. I actually discovered coaching by accident. I discovered it during my fellowship. I got to be a participant in a faculty group coaching program. And it was over several months, and it included group sessions as well as one on one calls. And it was such a unique experience to be with senior faculty, just faculty of all stages, and get to hear about their lives. They brought their tears, their joy, and there was so much transformation that happened in those few months that I thought, wow, what is this? What is coaching? And if someone who's not a physician can coach physicians and have this level of breakthrough, I want to do this because it seems to help get to the root of issues compared to in medicine. I want to be able to get to the root and help people change lives before they're dying and ill. And so I transitioned careers and pursued many trainings in holistic health and well-being and coaching because it's just so inspirational when you can have a single interaction that can just really help change someone's way of being. When I first started coaching, I also had to learn how to build a business, and I didn't have any business experience, but I am so grateful for emergency medicine because it really reframed my perspective for everything. Once you get through a shift with many people dying and realize all the things that we're able to accomplish, I approach my business with joy because, and my profession with joy, because nobody's dying, acutely dying. And it's just so liberating to get into a field where we get to help people optimize potential. And it's just such different energy because in order for coaching to work, yes, the coach presence matters, coach has to do their work, but it will never work unless the person being coached is just as receptive, willing to think for themselves, willing to set goals for themselves, and willing to do the work. And that is the true partnership because the real work in coaching happens outside of the coaching sessions.